Hello, and welcome back. My name is Jackblade, and this time we're playing Satisfactory. And we are in the beginner's guide world, and we're going to go for episode 23. Last time we finished this monstrosity, or mostly finished it. We still need another factory to properly feed this one. And what we need to keep an eye on now is the like that this actually functions properly, like it's going to back up, it's going to stop because we're gonna run out of copper and stuff like that. But what I have done is do some preparation for our next big project, which, what might that be? Well, either way, it's like I want to bring attention to Coffee Stain's latest video as well, like before we just get into this episode, because we got shown like overclocked belts or like Mark 6 belts, like quantum technology and stuff like that. Really cool. I'm so looking forward to 1.0, but for now we're on 1.8 and we're gonna continue with the beginner's guide. But over here you can see I have placed in some containers and diverted some stuff with smart splitters. That is because we will need a lot of these aluminum sheets. So I have, like this, I made this little system here with where I just shoved in thousands upon thousands of copper, and as a result we got about 10,000 times 3. Let's see how many are there's 9,600 in each of these 3 containers, which should get us most of the way for the next project. And as you can see on the right side of the screen, I have updated the to-do list. What we're going to do is a Mega Refinery. This is probably going to be the capstone project. I don't necessarily think we're gonna have time to continue in this world before 1.0. Hashtag self-plug there. Like, I'm gonna stream on the September 10th for the first time, and it's going to be it's gonna be a hoot. We will be starting a new world and everything. So I want to kind of go all out and really go in for like doing all the detailing, all the design work, and like really make sure that we leave this world really with a big project, with a big boom, big bang. And we are going to make a Mega Refinery, and we're going to make that over by the waterfall in that direction. So let's get going and see what it's going to be looking like. When we pass through these trees, you will see what I've done so far. I've shown, like, this is the outline, pretty much like a guesstimate about how much space this will take. It will probably take more space than what we see here, but this is a tentative, maybe this much space. So what does that mean? We have a big amount. Like, if you look on the right side of the screen, I can fly over so you can see more clearly here. We need 44 water extractors that are fully overclocked. And what that means is we're going to be bringing in 13,200 water into this factory to fuel it, fuel all the recipes in all the refiners and stuff. And the majority of that goes into the pure copper refineries, of which we need 410. The reason for this is we need to produce 15,375 copper ingots per minute. And we need a lot of iron. It's going to be over 10,000 iron ingots and everything. You know what? Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring you over and show you the document where I've planned the entire world, and show you what it looks like. All right, so we are now in the Google Sheet that I have used to plan literally everything in the world. And if we look at this, we're in the we're in the summary, sorry. Let's go over to raw resources. This is the total number of resources that I'm, like, what we expect to be using in the world. And when I have taken all the resources and we're actually using all the resources that are planned, I mark that out with like a green field. And then if we go to stage 1 here, you will see that I have marked out all of this stuff that we are making, that we are producing in some of the end game factories. like for example, I'm not marking the steel ingots because we haven't started producing those yet. But in this world, we're still working on like stage 1, some part of stage 2 stuff. Like there's the only thing in stage 3 we have worked on and actually made is turbo fuel, and everything else we have so far not done. So we're still very early on in this. Like for endgame, we go all the way up to these levels of like things, and then we also need to make like nuclear recycling, nuclear waste recycling, and all that stuff. And like the summary for all the net, like all this is pinned in my Discord in the Satisfactory chat there. So like if you want to take a really close look at it, like that's where it is. But basically what we're working on right now is we need to, this is yellow because we're making part of this, but we need to get some copper in, and we need to then make copper ingots. And because of the nature of the factory and like which stage it is in, I felt it was appropriate to then also like mix in and make these parts in the same factory and have like a massive refinery that makes all of those ingots that we need, like the in quotation marks, like normal ingots that isn't the weirdness that aluminium is, both in terms of like where the resources are located and in terms of like how you make them. Aluminium is its own like beast. And same thing with the quartz crystal. I felt like that's going to be its own little thing, so I'm going to separate that out. Same thing with the acids, separating those out. So I'm going to make all of these resources, and these are the numbers for those resources that I will be producing in this factory. And if you look in the bottom right corner, you can see the total number of produced like final product that is going to be outputted by this factory. So let's jump back into the game and let's see where, like how far we can get in today's episode, because I really want to get going and I want to show you guys like the scale of this thing is going to be immense. Now that we're back in the game, what I kind of want to do is get started pretty quickly, and I kind of want to start with the water, which I will be pulling in over here, and we will see. Like I know what it's going to be looking like. I've already done it. It's in a future seed that I've already prepped. And I also posted a teaser on the YouTube on the community page, so there's some of you guys who already knows what it looks like as well. But essentially, we will be bringing in all the water based on the like what we can get from here. And from here we will start building up, because as we've learned, we need to start the factory kind of upside down or from the top going down to make sure that we can fit everything. And yeah, so water, let's go. As you can see, we have put in a lot of pipes, and let me put it like this. I did not make it easy for myself. I bunched up all the pipes before I painted them, so yeah, that was fun trying to reach every single pipe and make them blue, but it's done. And we're now bringing in 13,200 cubic meters of water every minute into this factory. And I kind of want to work more with like the design stuff and like really make sure that this place looks good. So I'm gonna be like working in a, like you can see all the water turbines and everything. I kind of want to work in a dam and stuff like that. It's kind of like integrated with the factory and stuff. That's part of the design. So it's going to be looking really, really good at the end of this. So for those of you who have watched this far and you enjoy the video and everything, please remember to subscribe. It helps me a lot in the algorithm and stuff like that. YouTube is very, very harsh with like showing my videos. Because I'm a smaller channel, I don't get the same level of just showing up everywhere. So it's super, super helpful if you guys remember to subscribe, leave a comment, like, and like share on like X Twitter, on TikTok, on Reddit, like wherever you feel like, hey, this is cool, or in your own Discord servers and stuff. Help by subscribing, commenting, and if you really want to engage with me and the other people that follow and like play Satisfactory together, and we are in my Discord, which link in the description. And if you really want to support the channel, go above and beyond, I have a Patreon, also linked in the description, and channel memberships are going to be enabled any day now. So if you see this in like a week, there's going to be channel memberships as well. It's the same benefits as the Patreon, so no, like there's no difference there. It's more like which one you're more comfortable using. And I hope to see you guys in coming videos, in the stream, in the Discord, and we will have a great time together. And I really love you guys for supporting me this far. And we're heading for the stars, man. And I'm hoping to get all of you, bring all of you with me. So as you can see, I haven't used the daisy chain everything mod here, where I could pull each connection between these immediately. I kind of wanted to get the power poles as a part of how I made the visuals work in here. One of the tricks that I've used here as well is how to make these like snap to grid, which is if you have a like underwater, what's it called? Or not even an underwater. If you have a foundation to snap it to, if I go like this and I grab one of them, if I resource is not deep enough, you can see like it doesn't let me place it here. But now I have snapping. So if I just go out a little bit and press H, so I get the nudge going, and I press out like this, I can very easily match that up and like start moving it on a grid and make them very nicely and neatly lined up like this. If you place one, you can just place the rest on a line next to them, right? And if you're using groups from like the grids or the foundations as the basis for the snapping, you can also make it match up very nicely with the foundations themselves, so you don't get like the wonky pipe bends and stuff like that. So it gets very neat, very clean, and I've basically just gone through that and like painstakingly made sure that everything looks very nice. Like these look like they're welded together. Like I know they're snapping, but it's kind of on purpose, so it looks like they welded it together for support, together with the power line. So I've basically tried to make like a structure that makes it so that it doesn't look like it doesn't look so floaty, because I get these, like they're very nice and everything, but it kind of makes it look floaty. Same thing if you take that and just stretch it up, it looks a bit floaty. So I tried to make some version of a like integrated design, as if this is one massive structure, like these are one massive welded structure that cooperates to create the support needed to carry the pipe this high. Don't know if it looks good or not. That's up to you guys to decide. I think it looks good. It vibes with me. Same thing I've done, tried to do that with the power poles a little bit here and there. I tried to make sure that it doesn't snap through stone and stuff, so I've integrated, like made a proper like ramp over and everything. Did the same thing here. I've also calculated and made sure that the pipes, like they do have the head lift needed, and if they don't, I can very easily place in pumps where it's relevant for each section. I would place that down here at the start to make sure that it can lift. So I have basically prepared for if in case of needing pumps, in which case I will just place the pumps and then replace the pipes, as we've talked about extensively in our past couple of videos. And then we've basically gone over here. I've tried to make sure that it's symmetrical with the pipes. So you have 2 times 8 and then 1 times 6 over here. So you have 22 pipes total with a full 600 going through each. This isn't powered yet, so the pipes are empty. I've very deliberately not plugged in the power to anything to do with this yet, so that I don't have to deal with that. And over here, I've just tried to make like a nice design. I'm trying to use the fact that it is a lot of pipes and everything to kind of create cool shapes with the pipes, with symmetry and everything. And like instead of creating a long line of everything going the exact same way over here or having the exact same line. I broke that up and tried to create like a pattern like this in the piping, then bring that over, and just here I went with like a straight line to try and make sure that it was like, it shows that it's like a super massive building. It's like there's a lot of stuff coming in here, and I might actually switch these out for the pipes with indicators, specifically so that you can see the like water, so there's some movement into this as well. Something I'm actually making a video on for the tips and tricks video on Tuesday, to do with like design, levels of design. But yeah, over here I have used the daisy chain everything to make it easier for myself to connect all the pumps. So it looks like it's only this connected, but there's actually pump like wires going in between each and every one to make sure that they work. And one of the things that I try to accomplish here is trying to make it look as if these are all like one massive pump. Like you have like multiple different pipes and multiple different like pumps, yes, of course, but I want to kind of make it look like one massive system that is like connected, like a modular system that someone has gone in and connected. So this part over here, like this square, is actually where they've connected it in, and here's the round thing where they connected it in. So you can see like as if it is one massive. I tried to make like a fun part shape here as well. I've started planning a little bit about how I want to like structure this to make it look more like stable and supported over here as well. So yeah, I've went hard with this, and I went for a long time to try and make sure that it looks very nice and symmetrical and gives like a sense of like massive, like big numbers, being like big. Like I'm Kibitz feeling. I guess you can call it the I'm Kibitz style. Just lots of pipes doing everything. I'm Kibitz, or if you've seen Construction's Death Star, or not Death Star, Star Destroyer project, and like their water packaging plans with the Galactic Senate and everything. Like I'm trying to achieve not the same level of it, of course. I'm way worse at the game than they are. But they can actually make it look very, very nice by just making it big. And that's what I've been trying to achieve here, and I hope that I have done so. And I would like to hear your opinions in the comments about like this. Do you have any design inspiration or anything like that that I can use to make this better? Either way, this is the piping part of everything. The water extractors are connected. What I now want to do is get the big number out of the way. I want to place down the copper refineries, and basically the reason why I want to do that first is because that will give me a sense of the scale of each floor, because it will be based on the copper refinery floors, so that I have like that's gonna be the core of the factory, and I'm gonna place that the highest point of the factory, and try and make sure that it looks like you should be able to walk into this and just feel like, whoa, holy shit, this is big. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm also going to start messing around a little bit with the detailing and like experimenting a little bit. Stuff I might change out entirely, but I want to have like a sense of what I'm doing, because I haven't planned for the detail or anything the way I'd done for the computer factory, like the Western factory over there. I haven't planned to the same level of detail when it comes to the detailing. As you can see, I got a bit carried away. So I was supposed to place down the refineries and then make a save specifically where, hey, I placed down the refineries, but I forgot to do that and started doing like detailing and like messing around with exterior design and stuff like that. But if we go inside and look, we can see that we have each section has this times 10, so I have 5 over here and 5 over here. That's one blueprint. Like if I go blueprints, and you can see that that is what it's been placed in. but I have 2 on each side, so there's 10, 20 refineries on each part here. And then you have that on each side going up all the way, so that on one floor here, you have 200 refineries. So the same thing, exact same thing mirrored over here. You can see that this is a pretty damn massive, and this is just the copper refineries, right? This isn't the whole thing. This is yeah, wow, like we are looking at still placing down over like almost 300 more machines. No, we're gonna place down a lot more. We're gonna place down over, what would I say, like 250, 260 more refineries that are the iron and Caterium or wet concrete refineries, and then we're gonna have solid steel foundries. I'm gonna place those. I'm gonna have those on the bottom of the factory. But yeah, as you can see here, like I've also left this, like I caught myself and stopped doing, so you can see how big this is. And you can also see like I kept detailing here and placing in some stuff. So now the way it looks here is you actually got the some sense of like support and stability going all the way up, because this is we're carrying this to a very high level. And when it goes up here to the highest level, if we can find there's a door, so I can get inside and show you guys. If we look in here, I have just made this because this, like in this massive corridor, as part of the detailing, I kind of want this to be the end of the corridor, more or less, to show like all the water that's coming in. I might actually switch this out to something that actually shows pumping, but it's more likely that I'm gonna do that on a lower level, because if I place them in on here where it's already curved, I'm not necessarily gonna get an indicator. But yeah, then you can see I had to place, to make it like not clip, I had to place into the floor. I mean, I had to place like, so I have 2 of these, what are they called? Big frame what? Big frame pillar. There we go. So yeah, essentially, I'll just try to start experimenting with some shapes. It's not gonna be this color. I don't necessarily think that this fits with the style of the building, like how massive it is. I want to use colors that helps create a sense of depth and detail, and that plays with the shadows better. So yeah, generally what I've done here, then underneath you can see I've used the glass and everything, so you can see here, because what we're going to be doing here is where we're going to be pulling all the pipes that is needed for the refineries for the water. But not just that, also I've made it so that the output of each machine or each line here goes down and it goes into the center here. So yes, you will have a level of like the water coming in is going to come down. I haven't done the math exactly on how I'm going to make that work yet, but basically water comes down. It's going to be fed into the machines on each side, and then on like combined with that, somehow I will make it so that the output goes down the center for this line and goes all the way down here, because on this end is where we're going to have you can see it's pretty much like level, and this is where we're going to have the train station. Is going to take up most of this space up in the sky. I'm gonna try and leave it open because I need this iron. I'm gonna need the limestone over there. There's more limestone over there. Yeah, like all the resources, there's copper, caterium, all of this stuff is stuff I will need to feed this monstrosity of a factory. So yeah, I've basically just been placing down all of this and experimenting with shapes, because I was placing down so many refineries. I was like, I'm going insane. I need to break up what I'm doing, and I decided to start detailing a little bit and see what I got with it. But generally, this is what I've got so far. I hope you guys like it. And what I've used up here is just the roof flat and the roof 4 meters to kind of create this dome. over top. So if you want to like take inspiration, like first I'm trying to not create a like this part here, for example. I don't want to have this part just ending like this because I want to create a sense of depth. I don't want to make it look flat, and I want to add in more detailing and like all that kind of stuff, so that you don't have just like one big flat boring surface or one big flat cube of things. I want to break up that squaredness by adding ramps and curves and stuff like that. I also need to somehow place in a way of walking up and down the factory, so that's also part of the plan. Like how am I going to do that? How is that going to work? So yeah, I have a lot of that stuff that I need to go through as I build this, and some of this stuff will probably change, and I will be unhappy with how the color of the walls, or color of this, or the shape of this, or like whatever else. So I'm going to basically be messing around with that a lot during this project. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks inside. Try to break up the ceiling as well by adding in this stuff on the logistics floor up here. So this is the logistics floor center. It's also going to make it easier for me to count like the what's it called, like to make sure that things are added symmetrical and not like off by one block or stuff like that. So yeah, like there's a lot of thought put into this. This is a 2-meter foundation specifically, so that if I need to place in catwalk, stairs and stuff like that, they won't cut through all the way. They will stop in the middle if I need that and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that I've been thinking about how to do this and try to create a unique look for this that you guys enjoy, and that doesn't make me go insane by looking at the samey thing over and over and over and over again. So I hope that you enjoy this part, because now we're going to jump over to even more detailing, because after this, we're getting some graphical glitches here. After this, I decided to just go like, okay, I've placed these in. I don't want to rush this project. So I'm going to, like I told myself, stop placing down refineries, because otherwise I would just continue with the iron refineries, and then the caterium, and then the wet concrete, and then I would place the foundries, and like I would be done with this in one episode. I don't want that. This is simple on a mechanical level, but it's difficult on a scale level, and I want to be able to process that and think a lot about like how do I want it to look, how do I want it to feel, aside from just feeling big. So I am pausing placing down more refineries, and for the rest of the episode, I am going to focus on the detailing and visual design of the place. And let's skip on over and see what I've come up with so far. As you can see, I have done some work to try and add in some level of detail, some level of depth to, like I said, like I don't want it to be just flat and uninteresting. So I have added this stuff in to create a little bit more of a sense of depth. Like I'm looking at it from above, and I can feel like there is levels of detail to this, and I can look from beneath and feel the same thing. Like there is not just a bunch of flat surfaces. Like there's stuff happening that is interesting to the eye without necessarily being noisy, at least not yet. It's like different design philosophies and stuff like that, but some people enjoy the noisy aspects and feel like that makes it look more used, lived in, and alive. I feel like yes, that is true to an extent, but you can also go to the point where you get like your eyes get tired. Also, I broke up this into 2 sections of pumps when I needed to get higher. So if it looks different from when I showed the pipes in the first place, that's because this is now like almost twice as high, because this is the level it used to be at. Like here was where the pump, like where the water used to end, where this was, because this was the original like 2 meter foundation thing that went along the whole thing that I used for the basis. So when I started building the copper, I built up. I didn't build it down. Because of that, I needed to increase the height of the pipes so that the pipes are coming down into the machines, so that I get all the head lift into where I need it to be. But yeah, as you can see, I've switched out some of the windows over here because I wanted bay windows. I wanted big stuff that could show off what is happening in the logistics part of the factory or on the logistics floors. I'm gonna do something similar down here to create that feeling as well. And then from there, we're going down another floor, and that's where we will have the rest of the, or not the rest of the refineries, but most of them. At least all the pure iron refinery is going to be on one floor down, and I will have to like adapt to the size of the floor and everything here. And I also need to put a lot more energy into detailing the bottom of this. But generally, I feel like I have gotten a good concept of like what I want to do in terms of like visuals, where you have this like weird mix between like a modern house and like almost like not necessarily brutalist, but like I wanted to create like a feeling of this is an actual like factory while bringing in like this is a modern house feeling. Like if you've seen the like Hollywood, like Beverly Hills kind of houses, like super modern, super high luxury houses. I kind of wanted to bring in some of that feeling into this build, and I can bring up a couple of like reference pictures. But generally, that's what I've been trying to do, and I hope that you guys like it so far. Of course, like this part, if I just zoom in here, so we have this part entirely, you can see that it is still very samey. It's still very like uniform. That is because I haven't added any additional levels of detail. But if we look over here, you can see that I have done that specifically to show like the full concept, where I have these lines to kind of break up the sameness of like ramps and stuff like that. I have added in like different size windows, and I have added in these like beams for a little bit more detail, so that if you look here on this end, it's a lot more finished than it is on the other side. Just so I could show you guys what more like on a conceptual level, what do I plan down the line to have. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy that, and I hope that you guys are in for the long haul, because this is probably going to be the capstone project for this save before we go into 1.0. And like I said, I really want to make sure that this is like the best work I have ever done, and the best work that this world has. So if you have tips and tricks for how to make this look even better, or look good if you don't think it looks good at all, then show me down in the comments, or hop on over to the Discord and like share if you have like reference images or anything like that you want me to look at. I would be happy to interact with you and chat about your style and your suggestions over there. And we'll see each other in the next episode, and probably gonna be next Sunday. I'm trying to like overcome my Shapes 2 addiction, which is like videos coming out on Thursdays now instead of having to Satisfactory episode every week. And once I'm done with that, we'll see if I make 2 episodes of Satisfactory up until 1.0, or like what the schedule is. But at least 1 episode a week with this, and I'm gonna try and do show as much as possible of my thinking and everything, so that you can get inspiration for your own Mega Refinery in 1.0. And I will see you guys in the next episode, and have a good one, everyone. Bye.